Welcome, everyone, to the Best of Markham Podcast, brought to you by me, Igor Klibanov from FitnessSolutionsPlus.ca, your personal trainers for chronic conditions. Here with me today, our very special guest is Keith from Veridian Law. Keith, thank you so much for being here. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Thank you so much for having me on this podcast. Um, as far as introductions go, I am a family law lawyer. I'm practicing in Markham, Ontario. For the longest time, I was working at other firms, but summer of 2024, I took a turn for my career by going self-employed. I started my own practice, and I'm having so much fun adding my personal touch to the legal services that I provide to my clients. And it's been quite the journey, and I'm looking forward to each and every day
Awesome.
providing the services that we do.
Awesome. So you're a brand new entrepreneur. So I got two questions. One, how to get into family law, and then why start your own practice? Why not continue working for somebody else?
It's more like a family law found me type of a situation.
Yeah,
So I've always wanted to do criminal law,
yeah,
but Um, I'm sure that you might be aware that once you finish law schooling and you enter the licensing process, um, a part of that licensing process is to get articling positions. I have, I had actively sought out articling positions in criminal law firms, but I wasn't having any luck in securing that articling term with the criminal law firm. So, after some helpful suggestions from people who have been already through the process, they suggested maybe I take a crack at family law, which more or less brought to the table the same type of work that you would
yeah,
be doing in criminal law. Essentially, I'd be in court quite often, or as often as I would like to be,
yeah.
and you get a healthy balance of, you know, surprising cases, a variety of cases that will keep you engaged and excited to do active work on. And the rest is more or less history. I
Yeah.
eventually became so immersed in family law that I'm now doing it 100%.
Right, right. No interest in anything else anymore. Um,
Yes.
totally. And so I'm sure when you started out, you're working for a firm, and you said just last year you started your own firm. So what made you decide to go from employee to employer?
I think a big driving factor was getting too comfortable in what I was doing already.
Yeah,
I want to say, or I'd like to think that I am young enough to take some risks because, um, and I'd rather take those risks while I am young enough because if I do fall, I can pivot into doing something else right away. And I felt like there was no time then at that moment to transition from being an associate at somebody else's firm to starting my own practice.
hmm,
And it's brought a new dimension to the way that I operate because I'm no longer just an associate. I'm also a businessman. I'm actively looking to
yeah,
grow my business, attract clients through my own efforts, and be selective about the clients that I take on.
hmm.
And yeah, it's been quite exciting actually.
Yeah, yeah. It feeds not just the your interest in family law, but also it scratches a certain like entrepreneurial itch. Like you
100%.
some marketing strategies. You want to figure out how to get your own clients instead of having them handed to you. And I totally get that. When I first started my business almost 16 years ago, I didn't, like, unlike you, I did not want to be an entrepreneur. I just wanted to be a personal trainer, and that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted marketing to be like non-existent. I just wanted to be like a good trainer. People will come to me. And I realized I was a good trainer and nobody came to me anyways. So marketing is necessary. That's when I started to really like clue in that I'm like, okay, I gotta start taking this as seriously as I do the technical side of things, the personal training. Um,
Mhm.
I totally get that. Speaking of which, what do you do for marketing? How do you get new clients?
So I'm actually not dumping too much money into the online stuff like a search engine optimization, Google ads, Facebook ads.
Yeah.
I'm like, and the idea behind that is I want to be able to justify those expenses as I continue to grow my practice. And I felt more like, let's see what I can do without having to spend so much money. Um, and a big part of that was networking.
Yeah.
So I'm attending various events, not only within the legal industry, but also attending events that are in other industries. For example, like mortgage brokers, they have their own thing, real estate agents.
Yep.
Um, I'm actively participating in that, and I'm also a part of a referral group.
Yeah.
Um, I'd kind of like to plug them in this discussion. Um,
Is it BNI?
so it's not BNI. So
Okay.
it's something similar. It's called Lead Tribes, and they
Okay. Yeah.
primarily started out in the West End,
Yeah.
and they're making their way out into the East. I'm part of the Markham tribe,
Yeah.
and it's a very relaxed environment to have everybody get to know what you're doing,
Yeah.
your day to day, and because they get to know what you do, they are actively looking out for business that they can send your way
Yeah.
when they're conducting their own affairs.
Yeah.
Um, and and it's 100% obligation, free. Like you don't have to feel like you have
Right.
to give somebody a referral because they gave one to you.
Right.
Um, Everybody just genuinely wants to help, and that just fosters for a better community, and everybody who just want to make sure that you thrive and grow your business. And I felt like that was the kind of environment that I wanted to be a part of.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's been working for me. It's
Awesome.
it's one of the main reasons why I'm continue like I've done it for almost a year and a half now, going
Yeah.
self-employed, and I'm still continuing to go forward with the self-employed status only because Lead Tribes has been working for me.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Um,
I've been
yeah.
to many BNI meetings as a guest. Never have I joined, and it's because of that obligation. Because they're first of all, I'm very impressed with how much business gets passed around, but I'm also like there's serious obligation in the sense that if you don't send a referral to somebody for 3 consecutive meetings, basically the guillotine comes down. Like you're kicked out
Oh yeah.
with no reimbursement of your membership fee or anything like that. Um, so this sounds way more low pressure. So and I'm glad it's working for you.
I mean, I'll recommend that maybe you come by for a visit, so,
Sure,
just
sure.
to see what it's all about. I mean, you'll meet other professionals, and maybe you'll see if this is a probably good fit for you as well.
Yeah,
You
yeah. I
don't
mean,
have yours covered yet.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah. It doesn't it's not the pressure that I felt at BNI and Latip.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, awesome. That's one thing I love about entrepreneurship is that you can do it any way you like. I've interviewed
yeah.
people on this podcast who are heavy into SEO and it works for them, and that's awesome. Other people like you love networking. Other people, for example, for me, I have four major marketing strategies, one in no particular order. One is public speaking, two is email marketing, three is writing and publishing books, and four, believe it or not, is door-to-door sales. Um, like these are the four that feed my business, etc. But at any given time, I always have 3 to 5 marketing experiments running. Most, by the way, are colossal failures. But about 1 in 25 is a runaway success. And fortunately, my failures are small and my successes are big. So once I find a strategy that works, that 1 out of 25 that works pays for the other 24 many times over. But I always keep testing new strategies to figure out, okay, what's the next big thing that's going to take my business to the next level. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
that's one huge thing I love about entrepreneurship. You can do it many different ways.
Well, I do want to point out that I'm not ruling out the SEO or Facebook, Google
Yeah,
ads. Uh, that's probably a future plan.
yeah,
Right now, it's just going to be the word of mouth and the referrals that are coming through the lead tribes, and also the good work that I do for my existing clients who
yeah,
then send me other clients that need my assistance. But I do have a growth plan, and as a part of that growth plan to secure more people booking me in for consults and wanting
yeah,
to retain my services, um, leveraging the SEO and Facebook, Google ads is going to be something that I am going to definitely look into. It's just
yeah,
not in the immediate future.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on pay-per-click. Um,
Yeah.
both with like myself, but I'm like I understandably my core competency is well those four things I mentioned earlier plus personal training. My core competency is not optimizing ads for these platforms. So I'm like, okay, let me find a professional who actually does this for a living. This is all they do. Um, and then they ran it for me, and it still got zero. I spent an additional,
Wow.
tens of thousands of dollars with them on Google, Meta, a bunch of other like a Bing. I've run many different kinds of pay-per-click ads, never seeing a return, never even seeing one client from pay-per-click ads.
Mhm.
The algorithm is just so difficult to crack. You have to be a serious rocket scientist just to figure out how that thing works. And then 3 months later, everything changes again.
Oh,
Having said that, I do know lots of people who are doing pretty well with Google and Meta ads. Um, I still love advertising, just not pay-per-click advertising. Like I spend
mhm.
between five and $12,000 per month on non-pay-per-click advertising. But pay-per-click to me is seriously difficult, and I hope that you are, unlike me, you're able to crack it for your sake. Um,
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for you. What are you working on right now that's exciting to you?
Uh, Plans for growth.
Yeah,
So right now I'm a one-man show.
yeah,
I am wearing multiple hats from lawyering my clients to doing the bookkeeping, the advertising, the admin, you name it. Um, but there's only so much that I can do.
yeah,
And I really want to, uh, I believe a lot of entrepreneurs have this issue about being able to buy back their own time.
yep,
They don't want to exhaust themselves spending time on things that could be very easily be delegated to somebody else because
yeah,
your time is worth a lot more.
yep,
So, figuring out what those next step is going to be is what I'm currently working on that has me excited because it's going to help me with my growth.
yes,
And that falls along the lines, for the most part, getting myself a full-time law clerk.
yeah,
Um, so I'm kind of setting things up there and looking for ideal candidates and seeing how I can retain that help that I need, and then and see how I can take the next step after that, which would be to get myself an associate. Obviously, it's not an overnight project,
yeah,
and lots of things have to be considered. And yeah, I'm welcoming the challenge and the additional expenses that come along with that, and
yeah.
the risks and the advantages, and it just everything about it is exciting to me.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I still remember my first hire. It was another personal trainer. Once my schedule was full, I still had demand, but there was no supply. I was out of hours. So I hired an
Mhm.
additional personal trainer. I was scared to hire an additional trainer, but I did it and I'm happy I did. It was a very good relationship, etc.
Yep.
Eventually over time I added more staff. Right now I have 14 trainers working for me, but I've hired SEO staff, I've hired executive assistants, I've hired for a bunch of other positions. And
Wow.
that makes entrepreneurship more fun because there's stuff I like to do and stuff I don't like to do that's still profitable and beneficial, etc. If I spend my time on the
Mhm.
stuff I enjoy doing, like those four things, the public speaking, the door-to-door sales, the writing, etc., I get to spend less time on stuff that I don't like to do, like sitting in front of a computer for too long. So social media, SEO, SEO is actually profitable. I just don't like to do it. Social media is
Mhm.
unprofitable and I don't like to do it. So it's nice to always have the opportunity to only do the stuff that you really, really, really enjoy. Because when you're a one-man show, you have to do everything, what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy.
Exactly.
Yeah. When you hire, you have to do you can do what you don't. You can hire for positions that you don't enjoy, but they do.
It's also a nice way to kind of reflect on my personal growth because not too long ago, I was the one who was the employee looking for, or the prospective employee looking for a job.
Yeah.
And I had an employer, but now I'm kind of sitting on the other side and I'm in a position to offer that employment to somebody else. I feel like I've become somebody now all of a sudden. And not just somebody. I have my own business. I'm a lawyer.
Yeah.
I have the capacity to hire somebody and give them work actively, and I'm searching for new ways to grow. So to be able to kind of step outside my own body and look at all of that kind of happening is just it's a wholesome feeling.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's there's a high that entrepreneurship gives you, especially when you do it well, when you're growth minded, that very few other things
Hmm.
can give you.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
that what obstacles have you encountered in your time as both a family lawyer and an entrepreneur?
Uh,
So I guess one obstacle you're facing right now, which is hiring.
well, let me elaborate on that. So, um, for me, I am a lawyer, but I'm also a family guy.
Yeah,
Uh, I have a wife, I have two little girls,
yeah,
and balancing my time with work and family is very, very important.
yep,
Um, but also being able to support my family and grow my business at the same time is also very, very challenging as well.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Although I'm very confident in my ability to grow,
Yeah.
um, I do think quite a bit about the what ifs. Like if I'm having a particularly bad month, what am I going to do in terms of being able to pay my employee who had come to be my employee, like fully trusting that I'm going to be able
Yeah.
to meet their expectations for being paid on time and so on and so forth. Um, so being able to kind of tighten things up on the back end to make sure everything else is running smoothly to ensure that I am confident in being able to give my employee what they're required to get. That's the challenge. I'm thinking about these problems, but also I'm learning to deal with them and move past them. That's uh that's the only issue that I have. I'm getting in the way of my own thoughts.
Yeah.
I've been told that I'm fearing myself unnecessarily, but in reality, for me, as far as I'm concerned, I'm only concerned about what I haven't done before in the past. Like I'm crossing into uncharted territory for myself, and because I've never done it before, very I'm very cognizant about making sure that I do it correctly and not making a mistake. So I guess in some ways it's about leveling myself up and understanding that, yeah, I got this, and I just maybe I shouldn't overly think about it too much.
Yeah, yeah. When I was just starting out in entrepreneurship, I was yeah, I really, really thought about things too much to the point where they would paralyze me and they would and I wouldn't do them eventually. Now I'm like, okay, let's do there's a saying in entrepreneurship that done is better than perfect. So just
Hmm.
execute a less than perfect plan, collect the
Hmm.
data from that plan. Chances are there is going to be a failure, but expect that failure and then say, collect the data from the failure, and then iterate. See why did it fail? And there's this diagnostic process that I go through. In marketing, it's very, very simple. It's message, market, medium. What went wrong? Did I send the wrong message? Did I use the wrong words to attract my target market? Did I target the wrong market? Or did I use the wrong medium to target my market?
Hmm.
And I mean, it's so simple, and yet you only see these things retroactively. You don't see
Oh
them,
yeah,
you know? And so now I just
and
run experiments, collect data, fail, reiterate.
it really ties back to what I said earlier. If like I wanted to cross over into being an entrepreneur because I didn't want to get comfortable doing what I have been doing for years already.
Yeah,
Because if I continue to be an associate for another 5 years per se,
yeah,
maybe I would rule out the possibility of becoming an entrepreneur altogether because
yeah,
maybe I may be too afraid to take that risk as
yep,
well.
yeah,
So kind of it's like a sink or swim situation. Like I
yeah.
think I feel like I thrive better when I'm thrown into the deep end,
Yeah,
and I kind of have to figure out how to keep my head above the water.
yeah, totally.
And like I'm learning about myself and what I'm capable of more and more after having becoming a solo practitioner,
Oh yeah,
and
it forces you
I
to
like it.
expand
I like it so much.
yeah, yeah. It forces you to expand so much. Like for example,
Oh yeah.
when I was just an employee, I never ever wanted to do public speaking. I was too
Hmm.
shy, too introverted, etc. I never wanted to do public speaking. Now I'm okay. It's free and it takes very little time. Let me try it. Like I don't want to do it, but I don't want to go back to working for somebody else. Let me try it. And I'm like, I kind of like it. I want to do more of that. Um,
Hmm.
Same thing with every new skill that I've added. I'm like, well, I don't really want to do it, but let me just try. Let's see what happens. And if it's successful,
Hmm.
I'm like, I kind of like it. Let's do more of that. That's kind of that's kind of the journey of entrepreneurship. And you have a personality that you go into it, but partially it changes
Yeah.
your personality in a way that's more conducive to being an entrepreneur. So yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
and I'm thinking in the same vein as you. If I had waited 5, 10 more years to become an entrepreneur, I probably wouldn't have done it. Because at the time I became an entrepreneur, I was just in such a position in my life where it was the perfect thing to do. I was 22, 23 at the time, living with my parents, so I had no mortgage, no maintenance fees. My expenses were maybe like my gas and my phone bill. That's it. Um, like even I didn't have to pay for groceries. Like there was the occasional like dinner out, right, which I would pay for, but like my expenses were three, four, $500 a month. That's it. Um, so even if I completely flopped, I'm like, okay, I can make $300 a month. That's easy. Let me try it. But now, if I had already had a house, mortgage, etc., maintenance fees and so on, then I would have been way more risk averse. But they didn't feel that risky because it wasn't risky, you know.
Mhm.
Um, they totally get it. Now,
Well, to add to this one point of discussion, so when I started the business, I I was able to keep it real enough to appreciate that if I didn't see promise of growth within a 12-month time period,
yeah,
and because I had family and like a wife and kids that depended on me to support them financially,
yeah,
um, I said to myself that if I didn't see that growth within 12 months, that I would wind up the business and just take up another
yeah,
job at another
exactly.
firm. And sure enough, in the first year, my biggest challenge was, okay, well, how do I get people to book me in for more consults so I can convert them into clients?
Exactly.
And for I wouldn't say maybe about 10 months, like it was just every now and then I'd get a referral or somebody booking a consult with me through my website.
Awesome.
And the retention wasn't there because the volume of consults weren't there.
Yeah,
And I had serious doubts. But then all of a sudden, within, I want to say maybe in the 11th or 12th month, it just radically changed. Now I'm in a position where I am at my capacity.
great.
I've actually, like, as of recently, I'm trying to turn away clients because I
Yeah,
can't take on, because
yeah,
and that doesn't sit right with me as well, which is now forcing me to think about how can I take on work beyond my capacity, meaning maybe I need to bring on a law
yeah,
clerk, think about an associate, and it's great. Like
yeah,
I'm tackling the problems as they come along,
yeah, exactly.
and I like the challenges that I get
That,
to
that
deal
was the
with.
same thing for me. The reason that I first hired my first staff member is because I had reached for a capacity. Somebody reached out to me for additional personal training. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have the time. It hurts
Mhm.
so much to lose their
Yeah.
prospective client that I'm like
Oh yeah.
I think 1,500 or 2,500 bucks at the time, a lot of money at the time for me. I'm like, that hurts so much. I can't let that happen again. I have to hire somebody to be able to handle this. Um, so I totally get that. Now, you're a busy guy, you're a lawyer, you're an entrepreneur, you're a family man. What do you do in the very
Mhm.
little free time that you have?
I give all my free time to my little girls.
Awesome. What
I
do you do?
love spending time with them. Um, Believe it or not, every day I go to pick up my daughter from school.
Nice.
I would block off time in my calendar
Yeah.
just to go pick her up, and then once I guess once I bring her back home and I finish my working day for 5 o'clock, I spend the next 2.5 hours just engaging and immersing myself with my daughters.
Awesome.
Uh, it's very important for me to be a present father for them, especially considering that I practice family law and
Yeah.
what I see day in and day out. Uh, I've grown to I've grown to prioritize my involvement in in bringing them up and raising them so that
Yeah.
they can hold on to that as a lasting memory for themselves as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very important.
You got your priorities straight.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
absolutely. Now, since this is, after all, a best of Markham podcast, what's your favorite business in Markham besides your own?
So off the top of my head, I like wings, and my favorite wing spot is a place called um, Fire Wing Station.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, it's close to the Longos on Copper Creek.
Yeah. 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 I know that place. Very nice.
Yeah, so
Shout,
I'm often getting wings from there
awesome.
all the
Well,
time.
shout out to them.
And yeah, and I don't have a favorite flavor. I like almost everything, and they have a lot of flavors, so which I
All
haven't finished trying.
all wings are good wings.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
And lastly, how can our viewers and listeners get in touch with you?
I have socials. I have a website. Just Googling my name or Veridian Law will get you access to almost all of them. Um, I'm not sure what I can tell you else beyond that.
Well, how do you spell Veridian?
Uh, Veridian Law, Veridian Law.
Perfect. And the website is veridianlaw.com.ca.
.ca.
Perfect. Veridianlaw.ca. And your contact information will also be there as well. I'll also
Correct.
include that in the show notes as well. Keith, thank
Perfect.
you so much for being here. I really appreciate this.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.